Dr. Williams. I think one of the issues, I kind of want to go back just a little bit to the disconnect with the millennials. But one of the things that has happened with millennials is that they've grown up, of course, a different time than we did, of course. When I was growing up, I was not given certain options. And so I was told what to do, what to take, things of that nature. It was not a bargaining issue. Even when it came to theology, we were told what to believe about God, about church, about Jesus, and so on and so forth. But this generation is totally different. And so this generation requires listening, not giving answers, processing, not forcing. And so it requires us to rethink our approaches. And I think if we go back and revisit some of that, which is hard to do because we are caught we're caught between a rock and a hard place because of how we were reared. But this generation is going to require a lot of listening, not forcing anything. And I believe in time, people stumble upon the answers. And when the facts are there, eventually people will get it.
Thank you, Dr. West.
The other issue that we're dealing with is we are in an age, how to put this, where gambling has become a mainstream part of people's lives. And I've heard people say, in terms of dealing with their chances, they would rather gamble against the virus than to take the vaccine. So I think part of what we're dealing with is it's a whole cultural shift that's taking place, not just among millennials, but some of the older persons as well, is that somehow I can beat the odds. Even when we see funerals being held and we know people who are dying of the virus, I've noticed among some persons, there's a sense that somehow I can beat the odds. And that's another issue that I think, to talk about with Dr. West and my age particularly, people didn't take the kind of gambles that I see people doing now. There was more community enforcement and village life that reinforced that. Now people take those chances, and there is a sense that death won't catch me. I can outsmart it. So that compounds the issue for some persons.
Thank you.
I think what also compounds the issue, unfortunately, and the elephant in the room, is the tribalism in politics that exists these days.
Yes.
And so many decisions that should be medical decisions or public health decisions have an overlay of the tribalism and the politicization that exists in our country. And I don't think, I've been practicing medicine for, almost 40 years, and I have not seen this divisiveness that we're seeing right now that is overlay with tribalism and politics. Let me give you an example. I'm an oncologist. I give people chemotherapy every day, and the chemotherapy is significantly more harmful to people than the coronavirus vaccine. And even some of my patients, when I bluntly pose that to them, they take issue with it, and the issue that they bring up is more of a political issue. How you fight that, though, is I agree, through listening, but facts. And part of what we have to overcome is this device as well too, and that's been the game changer. Certainly, because if you look through history, there have been problems with the rollout of other vaccines. And, Dr. Akintobi can probably attest to this, when measles was rolled out, when the HPV vaccine was rolled out, there was, a concerted group of people that would voice their concerns, but it is amplified by this device. And, there are medical schools now that are teaching courses on how physicians and other public health officials need to be able to figure out how to fight against social media.